of this particular company. And fun fact, he's actually a former swimming student.
Yeah.
So yeah, I guess without further ado, I will pass the time to both Dr. Chai and Mr. Chang. So yeah, you guys can take the stage, the virtual stage.
All right. Right. Thank you so much, Millenniums, for inviting us to this sharing session here. So I'm Casey, okay, from NEON AI. So NEON's, let me give a little bit idea. Maybe some of you are the first time listen to our company. So NEON here is actually we are the local startup lah. Focusing on these AI customized solutions. We're focusing on these computer vision solutions. So basically, we teach the AI to see things. There will be a few product or a few solutions that we are introducing. So throughout these sessions, me and Yen Long will brief you through. We will brief you through the journeys of these digital transformations. So NEON, these names we pronounce as a NEON. New things is going on. So new thing is going on in the journeys of these transformations, digital transformations. Okay, so for these sharing sessions, I wish to share with you a little bit about this digital transformation that we did for our companies. So we have some industrial experience. What is the digital transformation before and after? The effects or the benefits of before and after, and some challenges as well. When we are transforming the industry, what is the challenges that we face? So we share with you the industrial experience. So from here, we will share with you more on the technical side, instead of just maybe your what you call this your educational types or your from your lectures. So we from here, I think it's good that we share with you direct the industrial experience. So this is a 5 key takeaway that I hope you guys can get it after this talk. So the first one is, like I said, how to define digital transformation before and after the DT, the digital transformations, the industrial experience in DT, challenges in DT, and last but not least, I'm going to share with you also one of the good news and a surprise that I'm going to give you later. So you stay with me for this talk. So, okay, first of all, what it means by this digital transformation here. So in this terms, digital transformations is this is a term that we always hear. So in here, we are defining these digital transformations in 2 stages. Actually, it's in 2 stages. So the first stage is actually we call it digitizations. Digitizations is actually we are converting the analog into digital form. Okay, what it means actually digitization here. Digitization is actually when we are connecting. When we are converting this analog. Analog. What do you mean by analog here is like the text. Conventionally, we are writing, right? We are writing in our notebook, or we are recording down in our paper. So all these things, if we are doing if we want to go into digital transformations, right, the first stage is, of course, we need to digitize all these informations. So instead of writing, instead of the written copy, we need to convert it into a digital copy. So it can be the pictures, all these text form or audio form. So it can convert into digital. So we can store it in some way. So this is the first stage of digital transformation. It's called digitizations. Okay. After digitization, actually, we will go into the other stage. It's called digitalization. Digitalization is actually we are using this digitized data to. We utilize the digitized data to perform our task, to make it the impact one, like how are we going to harness the data. For maybe in the next step is like the big data harnessing, AI, pattern recognitions, all these things. That one is happening in the digitalization stage. So Okay, here digitization is the first stage. Converting, the digitalization is utilized or implements it. So this is the two stage, and you can see here after these two stage done, only then it come into the third stage, or we call it a digital transformation. It's the process. I mean, digital transformation is actually the process of computerization. The whole things are so. This is the concept or understanding from our end here regarding this digital transformations. Okay, so here is the existing problems that we encounter. I mean, normally you will hear you will hear a lot, but maybe you are not aware, or you are not what do you call this focus on. But this is the normal problem that we have lah. For us, this is the three things that I wish to share with you. The first one is about this trading the vegetables. Okay, so trading the vegetables, we have our farm. So what we are doing here before the digital transformation, actually, this our farm site, right? So when we sell the veggie, you need to balut with the, I mean, you need to wrap it up with the newspaper, and then you will wet it, and then you will write down how much on the newspaper. Like if let's say you weigh it is 1 kg, 1 kg is 6 ringgit, then you will just write it down 6 ringgit, and then at the counter you will just pressing your calculator to write down the receipt or how much, and then you will bill the customer. So this process is actually we will call this the conventional way. Okay, so everything is written down. So when we are encountered this when we are seeing this problem statement, right? So you can see like everything is actually recorded manually and no systematic way to record down your data. So if you do filing, then if you want, I mean, if you do filing, of course, you need to handle all these tedious papers or physical copy. And if you want to, I mean, the problem, another problem arises is like if you want to track back which customer is buying on what date, how much they buy. So it's actually very tedious, or you can't even trace back. So this is the main challenge we have lah for our farm that's selling veggie. And the other issue is like this asset management. So we have a product called Rock Plus. It's a road asset management solution. So we digitally transform the whole thing. Conventionally, they are capturing the image, they are writing down, like you can see here, they have this logbook. So how much, which kilometer or which channel they have this pothole or this damage, and then they need to record down, and then they need to pass back this log data to their RMU, or we call it the road maintenance unit. And then the road maintenance unit will follow these locations, and then they will go and track back this problem, and then they fix the problem. So you can see all these is very tedious. You need to write down, you need to pass back, and then I mean, if let's say the data is not written in a correct way, or some digit is inaccurately written, then the operation teams might mess up the whole thing, right? So this is not something systematic. Or the common one that you will see is like the punch card machine. Okay, so this punch card machine, you can see like the punch card, all this data is recorded down. Okay, you know what happened after next is actually the HR or the manager, they need to read all this data, and then they need to record it down into this Excel sheet here. Then they need to calculate whether this particular employee they come or not, whether how much how long they attend per day, and then from here only then they can calculate out the salary. You imagine all this process is actually repeated, is actually tedious, is actually not systematic, is actually can't be able to trace. So with this one is a experience that we have also lah. I mean, this is another sharing. So this is existing problems in RMC, or we call this ready mix concrete lah. So this is one of our clients lah. Before they engage with us, actually they do something like this. Okay, let me brief you through the process. So the process is like they wet the material, the ingredients, like how much sand is going in, how much cement is going in, how much stone is going in. And then this operator here, or they call it a batcher, the one batching this ready-mix concrete, they will write down the ingredient. Like, okay, stone, they use 1,000, sand, they use 2,000, cement, they use 1,500. Okay, so they will write down the ingredient. Okay, but you imagine one thing. you know, when we go to site, right, we see, you know, how they actually record down this inventory. They are actually write down not the exact value reading, I mean, not the exact value or reading from the scale, but in fact, what they are doing is they are like, you know, fill in the blank. It's like, okay, this trip, the lorry, this lorry A, they carry out 5 meter. Then with this 5 meter, right, actually they have the formula sheet to refer how much they batch. So they will just fill it in. They are just fill it in when they are free. You imagine this process. So meaning to say, we observe for some time. Hey, how come these measurements like the cement, right, 1,510, but in fact, the real reading that they, I mean, the reading that they record down is only 1,500, which is the formula, I mean, which is the formula given. So where is this 10 kg is going? So they just round it off lah, since the boss is also don't know ma. So you imagine all this, if they don't, I mean, if this industry, they don't have a proper way of recording this data, right? So that will be a great loss for the industry. And if we go through this operation here, you can see, okay, so like I say just now, they have one log to record down the inventories, how much sand, how much stone, how much cement they use, and then they will, then this plant manager here or the branch manager will carry out this report back to the headquarters, and then they would calculate and then to bill the customer. So if you see this the bottom part here, this is actually how the operations is actually work on. So they need to write down the report, submit, and then bill the customer, and then customer make the payment. You imagine here, the operations, right, for this branch manager to submit the hard copy back to the office is like at least 1 week. So this office to bill the customer is another 1 week. So meaning to say, when it come to the customer end to do the bill, I mean to do the payment is like 1 month already. So this one is actually, I mean, for this process here is actually taking a lot of time from the production up to billing the customer. Maybe it take like 1 month to complete the whole process. So this is actually a great loss for the companies if they don't manage to manage all these things carefully. So we are introducing them the digital transformations. Like I say, the first stage is about this digitizations, and then we go into digitalization using this data. Okay, so this is a scenario that you will see. So this is our digital innovations. So we are introducing not something expensive or not something very, what do you call this, high tech until it gives the burden to the company. But in fact, we are introducing something light, or I mean, we are just introducing something simple. I mean, some simple concept and some simple equipments that maybe in throughout your study you also will engage one. Is the things like the PLC, the programmable logic control, the PC. So you can see this is equipment that we have lah, and this is one of the product that we develop for the industrial. So for the innovation wise, you can see this is actually the flow that we have. You guys still there? Hello?
Yep, we're still here.
All right. I hear my WhatsApp. I thought disconnected. All right. So
Okay.
yeah. Okay. So let me continue with this. Okay. So this is the this is how the things is look like lah. I mean, for operation wise, previously you see the red one is actually indicate the system lah, the existing system. So the existing system is like the wagging. I mean they have this wagging LCD. So this wagging LCD, they will connect to the panels. So this panel will connect to the relay and then to on off the gap. So they cannot, I mean, they cannot actually record down automatically. So they rely on the employee to write down and record down. So when we are coming in, we are introducing them this flow. So what it means is like you can see the green one is actually the proposed solution from us. So we connect the industrial computer and the PLC. PLC is actually the programmable logic controller. So instead of direct contact the button, because previously they are connecting the button with the relay. So once the button press, the relay open, then the gap open. So the material will flow. So instead of this method, so what we are doing is we are connecting their panel, their control panel to our PLC. So we program the PLC to communicate with our industrial computer. So with this communication, actually, we will know when is actually the loading the weight, right? And how much actually is loaded. So with this, and we can digitize, or we can record down everything inside our database. So you get the idea on how actually we from the manual process to this digitizations. Okay, the first step. Okay, collecting the data. Okay, after we collecting the data, of course, we are talking about digitalization. Okay, how are we going to use this data? So of course, we need to do billing. We need to trigger the message to the boss, so the boss will know, like, okay, this customer, we have already sent the goods to them. They are actually receive it. So this is the operations are on the digitization stage. So with here, you can see this is the our digital innovation, the before and after. Okay, so I summarize down here is actually 4 criteria that we did and we improved before and after. So you can see here, for the first criteria, like I say, submitting the report is at least 1 week. It's pretty depending on several factors. The factors is like, for this ready-mix concrete plant, right? They are having many what do you call this, site plant. Site plant is like their small production plants located around this the headquarter. Headquarter is the one that will handle everything, invoicing, billing, everything will be in the headquarter. So this site plant, they were not doing the billing part. What they need is they will collect all these report back to the headquarter, and this headquarter will do the billing. Okay, so what I mean here, depending on several factors, at least 1 week. What it means actually is very dependent on the factor like distance. Distance is one thing. If the distance is close, then they can make it faster, but at least 1 week. If the distance is far, maybe it takes a few weeks or maybe months to deliver. And also it depends whether how busy is the production plant. I mean the site production plant. If the site production plant is very busy and this branch manager, they can't afford to bring back the report, then it will be a delay. All right. So you imagine this is the cons for the before the transformation. And after the transformation, imagine now. So we have all these database collect, and then we have our cloud-based solution. Cloud-based solution. So where we can immediately send the data back to our cloud for storage and also for recording and for billing. I mean, that is the idea and on how we are doing. So we capture the reading so it can store in a local PC. If let's say it's not having an internet, and once it with the internet access, then we can automatically send it back to our cloud. So our data is real time. So we can, from 1 week, at least 1 week to real time. So you imagine this digital transformation, the effect of this bring to the companies. And for data storage wise, like I say just now also, the before is actually unstructured data. So everything is your hard copy. So you need to keep a lot of hard copy. Okay. You imagine because every year they need to do auditing. So they need to keep all these hard copy. You can't miss one, because when you are doing auditing, if let's say they come and check your production, right? So if you miss out one, then there will be a trouble for the companies. And so imagine if you need to keep all these things, what about if the natural disaster come, like for example the flood? So it will ruin the whole thing, like the what do you call this, the flood or any disaster coming in, then you will be having a big troubles. But for our case, after the transformation, actually we keep everything inside the structured database. So this is in cloud and in soft copy, so they can print out anytime. They can search the date, they can print out anytime. So yeah, this is you can see in terms of the data management wise, before it's actually very hard, and now it turns into a very easy way to manage all these things. And for inventory wise, inventory management, like I see just now, what they are doing for the before the transformation is actually hard, and I mean they are hardly estimate. Okay, all of them is actually pretty much depending on the staff. So they are recording. I mean they are recording, but in what they are recording is in fact is not recording, but what they are doing is in fact just filling or writing down the formula only. So they cannot exactly keep track. So there is a lot of losses. You imagine this one this 10 kg of cement, 10 kg of cement is like 15 ringgit. So imagine one button press is 40 kg. So you imagine the waste. If let's say they press one button, can be 40 ringgit losses for each time the worker mispress the button. So imagine if you can't track this, how much losses will impact to this company. So it's actually a lot. So with our method, you can see everything is actually easy managed. So you don't need to write down, the worker don't need to write down because the computer is actually automatically help them to record down. So this is the advantage of having the digital transformations. Well, the rest of this one is actually the integrated, this one is another product from our farm. So this is actually a smart farming infrastructures that I'm going to share with you. So you got a little bit idea about the conventional farming and the advanced types of farming, and what is the system that we are introducing throughout these digital transformations. So this is the overall solution we have for this Go Pass. So you can see here, we have for farming side, the green one is actually for farming side. So we are introducing the computer vision, AI computer visions, the IoT sensing. So we can collect these IoT data like the temperature, humidity. Okay, conventionally, when we are doing this hydroponic farming, so you will see the important factor that we need to control is the EC and pH. So every morning, actually, the farmer, they need to go and measure this EC and pH using the tools. So they will go and collect all these this input, and then they will know like, okay, what's actually happening. If the EC drop, then the air fertilizer they need to put in, maybe they need to pump in the nitric acid or what. So this is a normal the conventional operations. If let's say what do you call this? They need to, manually record all these things. So with this digital transformation, actually, we can help them to record down all these by using sensor and also to connect it back to the cloud. So this is the also we call it the digitization partner, and we have this the processing or operation. So we are introducing a ERP solution, and for sales and distributions, actually conventionally they are using mouth to mouth, making call like, okay boss, I want to order this 20 kg of veggie, sawi, 10 kg of kangkong, and then they need to deliver so you imagine all these things is not tracked, right? So you need to write down in your logbook. But we are introducing them a digital platform that they can sell and also manage their order through the platform. And the rest is like the command center, the research, and also these management. That one later I'm going to show you how actually we are doing this human resource management. The attendance, the leave, the claim, the payroll, all these things will be inside this management and operation. So yeah, this is the product that we coming up to help these SME, this small and medium enterprise in digitizing their business. Okay, so we have this Gotani, we have this Go ERP, Go Pasa, WerkHR, and NEUON is actually our call to do this research, particularly on harnessing or on harnessing the data for the next stage developments. So you can see this one is the Gotani, the agricultural management platform. So we have this precision farming and also these AI farming. So AI farming, basically we are doing to teach the AI to recognize the plant disease. So capture the image, and then you can see actually what is happening on your farm, what is actually the disease. So all these things can be captured. So in fact, or previously, if you have your disease, right, you need to call someone and ask. So what we are doing is we are teaching the machines to be able to interpret. So that is about the AI part. Maybe later Loong will going to explain further about this part. And so for this precision farming, we are doing the mapping part using the sensor, like I told you just now, using the sensor to collect all these input, like the EC, the pH, the weather conditions, and also we are using drone to do the mapping, so we will know exactly what is happening on the farm, whether your farm is attacked, or I mean whether your farm is in a healthy condition, and how many tree you have. Like for example, you have I mean conventionally, when they are doing this palm oil tree counting, right? So they are relying on the agronomists to count the tree one by one. So with the AI, actually, what we can do is we recognize the pattern, the tree canopy pattern, and then we can help them to automate the process. So this is about the precision farming part. So ERP part, like I say, so we can monitor the inventory. So we have the AI computer vision product inspection. So it's basically can capture the product, and then we are able to do the product countings and inspection purposes. And for inventory management, actually we have using this we are using this QR code and using this system. So when they check in and check out, inbound and outbound, so we can manage the inventories, like how many how many bags of our product as the cement bag has been produced, and how many bags has been checked out. So everything is using the system to control or to monitor. Yeah. So you guys still with me?
Yeah, we
Yep.
still.
All right. So I continue.
Mhm.
So this Go ERP here, from this on top here is the centralized management. Like I say, this one is with the ready mix concrete. So they can preview all the report, manage the customer through one platform. On your left hand side, I mean the left hand corner here is actually our IoT wagging and invoicing system. So this is a system that we do for our farm our farm retail. So what it means is actually like I said just now, the conventional one is you wet your veggie, how many kg, then you will write down, I mean the operator will write the seller will write down how much or how many kg in a newspaper. So but now what we are disrupt in this process is actually our process is much more simple. So we just need to whack it, and then it will be automatically recorded into this our database here, and we can direct do invoice without going through the process of writing everything. So you can see the information is complete. We can track. Now we are developing a process even to track the basket, like which basket is going to give to our customer, whether this basket has been returned, how long or how often this basket has been used, whether the durability of this, I mean, this condition of the basket is still good. So, I mean, we can do that part for our digitalization part, utilizing the data to help us in making decisions, whether we want to replace the basket or not. So that is the idea. So yeah, this is a trading platform. As I said previously, using phone to call, to contact, right? So now we have developed this apps. It's called GoPasa. GoPasa is not the B2C platform, it's not to customer, but we are focusing on B2B, from connecting the business, which is our farm, to the retail or to the restaurant. So this one is focusing on the wholesale. So we also have this dashboard here where we can monitor the daily production, the daily trading value, and the customer demands. Yeah. So yes, this is our WerkHR. So instead of using the conventional punch card system, right? So what we are introducing here is we are using the apps to check in. So we have one app, so you can use it to check in, to clock in, and then the system will be automatically recorded. So this is the four main features here. We have the check-in, check-out attendance. We have the leave application. Conventionally, if you want to apply leave, I mean, for this SME, they want to apply leave, they are going through the HR, they're applying, get a form, and then they need to fill a form, and then they need to submit, and then the admin need to approve it. But with this, actually, it's just one button. You just need to click, and then the notification will be sent, and then they can approve lah. So that is the idea. And with this platform, actually the admin can see exactly how many employee is taking leave, how many people is making the claim, about their attendance, about whether they're late coming, or I mean anything. So will be inside one dashboard, so they can monitor it through here. And last but not least is about this reporting and analysis. So they can print out the report and for analysis purpose. So that one is about the digitalization part lah. So yeah, this is another product of us, Face ID. So this is a access control. So we're digitizing the face, and we can know the access control lah. I mean the attendance or whatever. Yeah. So in NEUON technology and experience, this is the 4 main category that we do. So we have this in agriculture, we have this in manufacturing, business intelligence wise, which are using the facial recognitions like I mentioned just now. And we have this asset management. Block Plus is actually one of our new product that we are working with JKR lah, Jambatan Kerja Raya. So that idea is actually on detecting the pothole, the road damage. So we are using AI to capture all these road damages, and then we are digitizing them into a platform. So with this platform, and then they can know like exactly where which road have the issue, when the RMU, the road maintenance unit, is fixing the damage and all these things lah. So it's under this Log Plus solution. So instead of using the conventional writing, submit to the office, so we make the whole process actually seamless. Yeah. So yeah, of course, for here, for NEUON, throughout the year when we are doing this digital transformation, right? So this is the 2 main challenges that I wish to share with you. So you got a little bit understanding about what is actually the industry people facing. Though you can see, right, the initiative is good. It can improve a lot. It can help the business, right? But changing the mindset is actually very difficult, especially those companies already rooted for 20 years, 30 years, right? So they have their own SOP, they have their own standard operation procedure. So it's actually very hard for us to do the change. Yeah, because if we want to do some change, right? So A is actually tangled with B, B is actually tangled with C. So you need to know exactly like where is the cutoff point, so you can change it part by part. It's not like you can change the whole thing simultaneously. Just taking an example, I want to share with you our experience in this ready-mix concrete, right? So the operation is like this. The report collecting, the delivery order, billing, up to this invoicing, actually they are undergo different department. They will undergo different system. So you will submit one to another department. So imagine if you want to change, right, you need to think of like how is actually the cutoff, because you can't make the change in the front, and then but it is not linked to the other department, right? Then you will create a chaos, right? So because of the information cannot pass to the other department, then the whole thing mess up. So we can't afford to make any losses in the data, because when everything go live, when you need to deploy in a real environment, so you need to make sure that, because everything of this is actually dollar and cent, so you cannot make the company to make any losses. So we need to be carefully think of like, okay, how actually we want to transfer this data to this department, and then it not making any losses, or we have another backup, like how are we going to support them if let's say the data mess up somewhere. So you need to, we need to have all these alternative lah. Of course, the change management is also including changing the mindset of the bosses because the boss, they don't have any idea. It's unlike us, we have the experience, you know about digital transformation, right? You are being educated to do think about this and do about this digital transformation, but to them they are not. They are like, well, my grandfather is doing this, my father is doing this, so in my stage now this is the operations, so I can make money also, though I don't use the system. So we need to come across, taking quite a not an easy task to influence them, to educate them about the system. So what we do here in the first change management is actually education. So through this education, actually we need to properly set up the the what do you call this the scope of our project, not to make it too big, but we make it like change it by scope part by part. I mean, we split it out into modules, and then we improve the first module. Let's say, like, for example, the weighing part, right? So just now we are talking about the pain point. One button, it might make losses of this 40 ringgit, right? So we make this highlight out this problem to them. So we solve the first problem first. Let us to monitor your ingredients. I mean, your inventory effectively first. So once we done this, and then they can do the comparison. Oh, okay, I do the save. My employee or my staff has more aware now, because the boss is putting an eye to see the way they do the job, right? So when you success into this, then we can move into the second part, and then the third part. So this is about the change management. So as an engineer, we need to think out all these solutions, and then we need to do a proper planning of all these things. So we can not only what do you call this, deliver the solution, but in fact we can convince them to use this. So with this one, actually, these two things are two different things. Technical development is technical development. The other one is actually the change management. So you need to do the change management in order for you to deliver the technical development. And of course, you need to communicate between these two. So that is the idea. As an engineer, I think you guys need to have this communications skill that is able to communicate with the clients. So to convince them about the technology as well. Else, it's very hard to do the digital transformations. Especially like we are doing the frontline job is actually quite tedious. And the next part is actually about this technology. Okay, what it means by the technology is, I would say here, is about unifying or consolidate the data, all the data into one platform. Because to your understanding, this company, they might use a separate system. Like, for example, accounting, they might use AutoSoft. The HR system, they might use punch card. Their production, their billing invoice, they might use the Windows 98 billing system. Okay, so you can see all this system is actually part by part. It's actually not connected. All right, so how are you going to migrate them one by one, or how are you going to consolidate into one so you can manage or monitor everything? So this one is also another difficult things that you need to think of, like which part you should go first. So that is the basic idea about these two main challenge here, the challenge that we face. So here I have one good news to be shared with you. You still here, Millennium and team?
Yep.
Okay, so this is actually one of the initiative we want to share with you. This is actually we do it with, I mean, we do it with IEM Malaysia. I'm not sure whether they inform you about this solution or not. So this is actually e-cert system lah. Let me go through this one. This is the e-cert system. Where is not here? E-cert. So far so good.
Yep.
Okay, all right. So this is our e-cert system lah. Okay, so for this system is actually you can see my screen, right? The e-cert system.
Yeah. Yep.
Can all right. So this e-cert system is actually the system that we developed for IEM to issue e-certificate. Okay, so conventionally IEM, they are issuing physical certificate. So everything is physical. You need to print out and then they need to sign it, right? But this operation is actually very tedious. So what we are doing with IEM is actually digital transformation. Okay. With this digital transformation here, we are managed to issue digital certificates. It's just like example, like later I can share with you the login as well. And yeah, so let's say, like, for example, you enroll this activity, right? So you need to know how many people is joining this activity. So what you can do is you can select, like this activity is the one that I've created lah. So you can view this activity. So this activity is on when, what is the date, what is the time, right? You even can download the flyer here, so you can register yourself. So any one of you, later you can register yourself to get your e-certificate lah. So you can fill in the information here. Like, let's say, let me show you one. non-member. So if you have your member, you just log in now. So you enroll. So okay, you already registered for the activities. Okay, now so we go into the platform to how come this one? I think it's registered already.
You be registered before already your email.
I think so. Okay, never mind. We go into the login. Okay, so this login, later I'll give you one login. So okay, you can see like for example, this attendance, right? This is the dashboard. This is how the dashboard look like. So like this one, digital transformation. So we have this one, the one attending. Yeah, I have registered it, but I removed the account. Okay, so you can see this one. All right. So with this one, actually you can see this person, let's say Casey has been checked in to the events. Like let's say you guys can, I mean this one can you can import the attendance. You can check the attendance as well. So with this one, what we can do is you can later on process the certificate. So this is how the certificate look like lah. Like for example this one, right? So this one is a certificate that we will get. So this one, the certificate can be sent in bulk also lah. So I mean, if let's say you have 10 person here, so with the email registered, right? So you can send them automatically lah to this platform. The best thing about these certificates, actually, we have a QR code to keep track on the download. This download. We can keep track on the what do you call this? Yeah. Where is it? We can keep track on the certificates. So this is the certificate that will be generated. Yeah, this is the certificate will be generated. No? Like, okay, this one, Jen Chiu has been attending this. So this is a certificate that will be issued to them. And with their registered email, right? So actually this one will be sent to the email as well. And the best thing is about this QR code here. This QR code, if you scan it, actually it can tell you the genuinity of the certificates. So this is the idea. So with this certificate system, this one is actually now live with IEM already lah. So if this is something that you guys will need it for your next event, maybe you can let me know lah. So I can share this platform with you, since IEM already pay for this. So we can consider about to give you to use this platform to manage your events. Yeah. So that's all for my presentation. You have any question?
Any questions from everyone else? No questions. Okay. So thanks, Dr. Chai. Honestly speaking, I wasn't expecting some stuff like the RNC, to be quite honest. That was for me like really unexpected. And yeah, overall very very interesting topic. I mean very interesting presentation. So yeah, so if there's no questions, then maybe we move forward. Mr. Chang.
Yep. All right. Thank you so much.
Anyone needs toilet break or something? It's been quite a while.
Anyone needs like a 5-minute break?
Maybe
Anyone?
we start 5 minutes later.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
So by 4:20, we'll continue with the talk. Is that cool with everyone? All right. So 4:20, we'll resume with the talk. So don't go anywhere. 4:20, we'll continue. I think maybe while we wait, maybe since Dr. Chai has shared the something like a e-certificate system, maybe is it okay if I show you guys how one of the certificate is used? I mean, how one of the certificate is like displayed.
I think Dr. Chai seems to be giving Telegram.
So sorry again, William.
Yeah. You said you use the. I mean, currently, IEM-SSSS is using some sort of like a e-certificate system that's made by you guys, right?
Yep.
So maybe I show everyone like how the certificate looks like.
I
Like
mean,
the one.
you want me to show how the certificate look like?
No, like show them like how the certificate looks like from IEM-SSSS using the e-cert system.
You mean a sample?
Mm-hmm.
For IEM, I'm not sure we supposed to log in or to access their live one. I think for that one, maybe you guys can talk to IEM because we are not authorized to show people about because now the system is live. So I think it's not good that we show, I mean, the system lah. Maybe you guys can request with Dr. Victor. Victor, I think is a committee members. If you want to see that, I mean, maybe we can request from Victor to have a look because all the information is actually there. So I think not that wise that we use the what do you call it, the platforms. But what we can share with you here is actually the similar thing. We are having here is actually what do you call this, the demo one. So this is the demo one. It's exactly the same. It's exactly the same. It's just that we take away the IEM those certificates from IEM and we use our general template. So this is actually our general templates. So for IEM, it's just IEM templates.
I see. Okay. Nice.
It's exactly the same. Yeah.
Okay.
If you are joining IEM events, I think you will receive the certificate through online.
Okay.
They are using it. I think that one is live. They are using it for quite some time already, 3 months already, since January.
Okay, that's pretty recent.
They can freely access, or they have to contact with the person in charge.
We were actually told about this, right?
Yeah, you ask Dr. Victor, then he will know. That one is actually we are having a few meetings with him as well. So he will be aware on this. You can ask him to like brief you guys about the things and do some sharing with you.
All right, we'll do. Yeah.
So that one is actually an initiative brought by him. The first meeting we have is with him, with Edison. You know Edison?
Edison
Lim.
Sure, I've heard of him. Yeah.
The tall one, and also the chairman, Bernard, I think is the name. So they are the one brought up the solutions. So the thing is, I would say it's the same. It's exactly the same. All the features is exactly the same. So yeah. So if let's say you guys need this for issuing your certificate or to manage your activities, right? So if you need it, you just let me know lah. We can give you the account, so you can use it lah.
Okay.
To manage your event.
Yeah, we'll see in the future whether it's needed or not lah. Anyway, it's 4:22, so is everyone back from toilet break? I'll take that as a yes. So so now, Mr. Chang, the presentation stage is all yours now.
Okay. Can everyone see, right?
Slowly. Yep.
Yes.
Okay. So I will start right away. My name is Loong, CTO from NEUON AI. So I think most of the thing Casey have talked about, very similar to what I'm talking about, but I will more focus on those AI-driven type of digital transformations. So you see some transformation that he talked about in his slide is not only AI-based one, but also like process transform to make people's life easier with different technologies. Here, I'll just focus on what are the AI kind of digital transformation. But we'll be only scraping the surface. I show you on the outline here. I'll talk about some domains of AI-driven digital transform in this 6 particular field briefly, and what are those notable kind. And I'll share to you some of the NEUON products that is in line with the AI-driven kind of digital transformation, and some closing thoughts. And I'll handle some questions if you guys have. So this is just some similar definition that Casey gives you. So digital transformations are actually referring to a very drastic shift of an organization on how they're handling the traditional operations, and then eventually transforming the whole process up to very high digital levels and streamlining the process of everything, and eventually they will impact people outside of the organization as well. So you can imagine, probably decades ago, people were maybe sending letters by hard copy, and a postman will send them, but nowadays you hardly see any letters because the transformation went up online. People send emails, people send instant messages. But why people start shifting is because your organization have the shift change. When they start sending email, you send your e-bill, you have no choice, but you have to use, right? But I'm not saying this is a bad change, but this transform eventually benefits everyone. And like what we say, digitalization is a part of transformation, but digitalization itself doesn't mean transformation. It doesn't just, you take a piece of traditional work and you transform it digitally and it becomes digital transformation. It's just digitalization. It's not simply replacing old tools with new one. So digital transformation means you have a drastic change, like I mentioned, and also change the way people think about how to do things in a certain way by leveraging the technologies. For example, like the mail that I mentioned, and also like people recording things inside Excel seems digital, seems good enough for technology, but that's not actually a digital transformation. It's just you digitize something, keep a record. But if you're really properly talking about transformation, means you have to have a full framework on how you manage this data, how you relate them together. When you have all your numbers in the Excel, how did you gain insights from them? How do you use them for something else? So how do you make life easier? So transformation should focus on two things, either how or what, or both of them. So on the how section is you focus on delivering these value changes in how things works. Like you change the process. So it's something like previously you take taxis by calling. Now you have Uber, you have Grabs, those digital distribution channels, and then you have some integrated channels like selling online, all those things. So this is how your value is delivered. So bottom line service doesn't change. You still get your taxi, you still get your goods, but the way that you get it has changed drastically. This is how your values is delivered. So the second type is what is the values delivered by these changes. So this is much more impactful than how, because this is fundamentally change the whole service around to give you new values from some existing products. I think a good example would be Amazon. Amazon used to sell online platform like eBay, they sell everything. But now they have changed what value can be delivered. They introduce cloud computing platform where they reinvent the cloud computing management they have in their reseller platform to form a new AWS platform that supply you those database management, cloud storage, all those things. And then in fact, this is a new revenue stream for them, and then it changed entirely what value they could deliver. So this is one of the huge digital transformation as well. So here, other digital transformation, we're going to focus on talking about the AI-based digital transformation. So in AI-based digital transformation, we cannot run away from data, because AI, a modern age AI, are mostly driven by data. So most of the intelligence has to be drawn from the data that you have obtained, you have collected. So by combining these two, then you would have some what we call AI-driven transformation. So we also call them very data-driven. So in this AI-driven transformation, data defines the values. So your values will come from your data. So what data can do is they help you to shape your business. They analyze your customer, they analyze market, analyze competitors. You can get some insights from all of your data that you have in your database through the digitalization process, or by consolidate different sources of data. So these data will come from everywhere. You can get it from social media, you can get it from your sensors, you can get it from different kind of database that your work, that your collaboration partners has. Like you can get some boutique store through your shopping mall database combined to predict the next trend of fashions that people are going to focus about. There are also coming all kind of data. You can have images, you can have numbers, you can have videos, you can have text, you can have any kind of data to consolidate to have AI-driven system that leveraging all this kind of data. So AI will again transform your data to something useful. So data could be transformed AI by this various form. I said here is insights. Of course, when you have a bunch of data, you need to. It's not just lying there. Stock up your hard drive memories or something. They are helping you to gain some insights of what your data is like. If today rains a lot, what does it mean? Is it mean somewhere it's going to flood? Then you have to come up with some insights. Is that related to areas? Is that related to population, development level? This kind of insights. So in order to do that, data analytics come in. We have to do data mining, and so after that, we have all the predictive component ready. Then this AI-driven system could do forecasting by predictive model that you have get from your data mining. So if let's say you have monitor for the past few months, the raining have caused the road to be damaged in what secure kind of level. So if you receive raining data for the following weeks, you would expect which part of the road would be damaged. So you can somehow predict, and then you can go and check and assist on the road maintenance. And then you can also use this data to train a lot of pattern recognition models that help you to spot different unique patterns that to recognize something, to recognize patterns, to analyze certain behavior. So only using machine learning or AI, you could gain this kind of insights, these powerful insights. I'm not saying statistic, all those things cannot, but we have to see accept reality here. If you have big data to analyze this, statistic itself is not enough. But what I mean AI is we are training basically a duplicate of ourselves to observe this data and to give intelligent insights of whatever our human intelligence represents to help us to move further. So AI-driven transformation, like I mentioned, we're going to focus on 6 different kind of example here: marketing, medical, law enforcement, agriculture, manufacturing, and smart cities inside this presentation. Of course, if you consider AI-driven digital transformation, there's not only these 6 kind. There are a lot of different kind of AI-driven application here. So, but we're only going to talk about these 6. First one is marketing. So in marketing, we will deal with a lot of data that coming from different stream of short lots. So first thing you can think about, of course, is customer insights like the age distribution, the gender distribution, the demographic distribution that prefer certain products that could help them to do a very strategized marketing. And then they can use AI also to identify return customers. What I mean by identify return customer is there are certain features of customer that can be used to re-identify them. For example, their faces can be used as a face ID to know who is coming back. Their digital identity, you can use data mining algorithms to try to mine the intersection of different customers to know what they need, to personalize the experience. This could come in a lot of forms. One of them would be maybe everyone experience is maybe Google Ads that surprisingly meet your need sometimes. And then they also have technology in AI that using the AI learning model to do campaign planning. Means they use AI to see who they should target through this advertisement, what kind of budget they should allocate for each of the platform to give them an optimized return of investment. So this AI marketing usually increase a lot of the conversion rate, means how much invest will come back, improve customer experience. They also can increase the customer engagement via chatbots, via interactive questions, smart campaign. Like one of our product, we put a facial recognition software on a display advertisement board that people can play games with it. This is also some engagement. They can also increase the brand perception, because when you start to employ some interesting technologies, then people will start to gain attention on the brand. Increase customer lifetime means you're trying to identify your loyal customer to give them personalized experience. Reduce planning time, strategic market strategy using campaign planning by AI is also quite a famous usage of this. This company called Dynamic Yield, they did a campaign for this Sephora to do personalized experience. So based on the case study, they have increased 6 times their return on investment. Means whatever they put inside the advertisement, they get 6 times in return. So this medical field, most straightforward way would be the AI assist diagnosis. When you have a lot of data coming in, that means you have a lot of medical history. So when you have a lot of medical history, means you can use this pattern to sort of predict when the incoming patient with certain data, that you can sort of forecasting what kind of signal it might have. Of course, this AI assist, the doctor still have to check what actually signals you have, but it will greatly reduce the time and increase the accuracy of doctors in diagnosing a certain disease. And also because of this AI-assisted system, they often can point out some very obvious patterns, so that they can give a doctor very actionable insight. Means that doctor could see the focus data and give a proper treatment based on the data. With AI assist, also will speed up a lot of medical staff process, so they will streamline your whole patient experience, so that you reduce a lot of process in trying to properly handle every patient. But instead, you give a very personalized treatment, so doctor can identify very fast and then move it to the next stage and move it to the next stage, and eventually we will speed up the whole process and acclimate more patients. There are also like this this pandemic, they also have a lot of research going on using AI, try to develop these kind of new medicines to help people to combat with the virus. One of the few medical center were trying to use existing drugs data, trying to use AI to find and synthesis new kind of formulas that could help encounter this new kind of virus by past experience data. So this is quite a valid kind of application in AI in helping your daily life. AI transformation. This company called Path AI, they basically do the AI diagnosis of the radiology images. So what they did is very similar to this use case. Like this is a GPS photo. Just hypothetically speaking, if you want to spot that three little car in a satellite image, it's very difficult if you want a doctor to find a very small car as a very small image. But if you use AI technology, they could help you to scan through and find specific patterns. So they'll focus for the doctors to be able to see the symptoms that usually you spend them days or maybe groups of people trying to figure out what's the symptoms. So here will be help a lot of patient and also streamline the whole process. Next example of AI-driven application will be on smart cities. Smart cities is quite a special kind of AI-driven transformation because smart city, they cover a lot of stuff, so there will be a lot of overlapping with other disciplines like the medical that we talk about. Smart city also helps with the increasing the public safety, all those things. So they will have a lot of overlapping inside smart city application for digital transformation. The most obvious one, they include everything: medical, traffic, manufacturing, everything is we call it optimized infrastructure. So all the data consolidated into one platform will help city planning to optimize how the infrastructures should be planned. Like where should you lay the train tracks? Where should you increase the route numbers to accommodate more car and to loosen the congestion? This kind of AI analysis can be helped in building smart cities and also improve public safety. In this, we can go in quite a few angles. One of it, of course, is security surveillance that can automatically detect crime activities and report to authorities. They can also have tools that have been used to increase the safety, like fall detections, guardrail detections, to help people to avoid places that are under constructions. And smart traffic diversion. I think one of these technologies have been implemented in China, one of the city as a pilot. So what they did is they use GPS information around cities that the mobile user have been emitting those information, and then they use that to try to divert the users to different routes so that they don't all go to the same traffics. And then they use that data to tune the traffic lights frequencies to match the needs of certain route to be not that congested. So the traffic condition will be better. This is also managed by AI algorithms. This is what we mentioned before with the improved public safety. So security surveillance can be installed in smart cities. So when we say smart surveillance or AI surveillance, means they need to automatically work in detecting crime or abnormal behavior. This is needed because we can't hire like tons of people just to watch TV, because the human have fatigues, human have they need to sleep, they need to drink, but machine doesn't need to. So this is very important. Of course, the one hot topic in smart city will be autonomous driving. This is also depend heavily on AI, because even you want to guide them to go by GPS, you still need AI to compute the route. You still need AI to calculate the best traffic condition. You also need them to identify whatever is in front of you on the real time instead of on satellite image, because you can't really zoom that in to avoid obstacles and stuff. Power optimization would be probably something more related to Swinburne student on SCB side. Some of the smart cities have plans of trying to optimize the power usage on infrastructures, daily house usage, to be able to not have energy wastage. So if they could detect some wastage happen in a certain electrical appliances of some houses of anomaly, they can have sort of warning. One of the case study they did is out of 5,000 Starbucks outlets in I forgot which US state, but out of 500 outlets, they'll be able to use AI to determine there's one particular single outlet have a coffee machine that have abnormality power usage based on AI pattern recognition on power consumptions. So that helps them to save costs, of course. If you repeat this process over and over, then you will minimize power. These are just some summaries. So they can optimize. We have talked about it, and there's an application called Fetch AI are doing some parking system optimization. So the system AI basically they can tell how many cars are parking in the spot, not only on sensors but visual information. So they recognize the car, recognize the blank spot or the parking spot. So if there is open, then they will notify the close by drivers that there is parking available. So study have been confirmed that this initiative has been reduced a lot of CO2 emission. This is a very critical problem in modern environmental issues. So this is also a good application of AI transforming our daily life. This one, agriculture, would be more close to us. I mean, close to us means close to Sarawak, because we do a lot of agriculture. So NEUON also do a few projects on agriculture, including Kotani Go Pasar. So AI transform in AI-driven digital transform in agriculture is also a big thing that happened all around the world. Of course, AI precision farming will be the main thing that people talk about. So what they did is they monitor all the values using your IoT device, and then they consolidate them to the same platform, and then after they do that, they will be able to gain insights on what kind of the best combination to give you the best production quantities, and then they will increase the income of farmer and also the state governments. So it will be a win-win situation for everyone. So this one of these disease recognition could help a lot of modern farmers that to identify the disease that's happening on the plants, because not every farm or small farm would have hired agronomists to come to the farm to check all the disease. With this kind of AI technology, we can help a lot of farmers in do their own self-diagnosis. And also we can do yield forecasting. So as you all know, vegetable or any agriculture crops, we are very dependent on supplies and the demand. So if you can have yield forecast, means that you know where the market goes, and then what you should increase in planting, what you should decrease in planting, so that you can have optimized incomes. Agricultural robotics, this one we more referring to drone technologies. So drone technologies often relies on AI algorithms to fly them, because they need, same as autonomous driving, they need to have obstacle detections. They need to have AI guided flying and navigation. When you use drone, usually means you want them to either help you to spray or help you to do some visual inspection. So AI in computer vision and visual inspection will come in to help you with this, like tree counting. Also, disease recognition also can be mounted, also can be included in the agricultural robotics. And we also emphasize on, not emphasize, this is also one of the technology in digital transformation, which is a community platform for different discipline people in agriculture, like farmers, wholesaler, the agronomists, the scientists, to be able to gather together in one platform to help the whole agriculture to grow. So not only farmers matter in agriculture, everyone have to take part in this. So how AI coming in this kind of platform is this community platform needs to be managed by AI scientists also to help with the disease recognition, agricultural robotics. So in agriculture form, this community platform also is very important to link every discipline together. This company called VineView Inc. is one of the example of AI transform, AI digital transform company that they do grapes planting. So they use the drones to help them count the vineyard and then the irrigation levels and also the schedule of the harvesting. The next example of the domain that we're going to talk about is law enforcement. So law enforcement is very related to every one of us, the public safety part also. So how law enforcement can have this AI-driven transform is, of course, criminal identification via facial recognitions of criminal faces on important checkpoints, let's say custom, airports, bus station, all those important points of the cities that this could be used to identify potentially people that are on the run so that the public safety could be ensured. And AI can be used to detect behavior deviance. Let's say if you have a camera mounted in a crowded bus station where you monitor the crowd. So behavior deviance means if you notice sometimes someone in the crowd would have abnormal behavior, like he's putting down a bag, but he never pick it up and leave. So sometimes this could be a threat. So using AI visual inspection on surveillance system, we can actually spot this kind of behavior deviance. Digital identity. I think this one we are moving into this transformation already. So most of us are already halfway through digital identity when you have those apps that with your identity inside. When you scan and you get in certain premises is required. So this is will help the law enforcement to be able to identify when something happens. And digital evidence. When we use digital product or digital ways of assessing payments, we left all the traces. So this will help law enforcement to collect digital evidence in case something happens. Of course, we don't want bad things to happen anymore. Asset tracing. AI could help in various angles in tracking assets. One of it, of course, is couplet recognitions. So if they can, some of the states in US, they have law enforcement have a camera mounted in a lot of their police vehicles, and also and for law enforcement office, bus stop, train station, to constantly look at the road condition for cars. So every couplet they digitize and then they send it to the cloud. This could help them to be able to locate a certain couplet, a certain car physically, if someone reported car missing or certain criminal get away with certain couplets number. And also when internet is a main thing people doing nowadays, staying on the internet, so also the internet fraud is very serious. So but we doesn't really have a lot of laws and enforcement or any kind of cybercrime effectiveness in catching this fraud people. So AI in fraud detection also will be very important in transforming how law enforcement should work in cybercrime. This session we talk about manufacturing. Manufacturing digital transformation would often tie with, of course, supply demand optimization. So when you produce something, you don't want, when you produce too much, you can't store in your storehouse. There's a cost also when you're storing. So when you have AI to help you to analyze your past data, your customer purchase records, you can sort of use AI to learn what is the optimal amount that you should produce for a certain product, and to predict whether there will be a surge of usage in a certain period to help you doing supply demand optimization. AI also help in detecting defects. So when you have quality assurance in modern days, a lot of inspection will be done by robotics manners, which involve AI to detect defects product or to automate the testing so that you will not sell a defect product to your customers. And using AI, you could save a lot of times in detecting these defects. Another thing that important that AI changes the manufacturing is using this data, we can actually learn the models that could keep tracks of the conditions of your devices via the readings of the devices, the sensor that you have used to get the lifespan of every equipment that you use. So this could help you to do some preventive maintenance, means before something happens, you already take action and ensure your supply line is constant. Instead of when something happens, then you have to attend to it, and then you potentially disrupt your production process. Here I already shared to you 6 kind of different domains for AI-driven digital transformations. So this key takeaway for this thing is, of course, insights is what is important in this AI-driven digital transformation. What we want the AI to do with us is to draw insight from the data that we have. So specifically, we want data insights. So in data insights that we have, we can make AI predictive models to do predictive conclusion on forecasting something, you're recognizing something, you conclude something. And we can use data insight to do generative models to help us design something like the medical example. They can help you to design new drugs. They can help you to design even new fashion trends. So with data, this will make possible. And also AI-based assistants, or we would say AI assistants come in various forms, including chatbots, robotic assisted surgery, like what we say, recommender system, all those things. We use the data insight to help us to build these things in AI. So if we have used data to gain insight and then use this to create these 3 kind or even more kind of AI-based application, then we can call this process an AI-driven digital transformation. So next, I have, before what we talk about is all like sort of common cases that we see in AI-driven transformation example. Here, I'm going to share you what our company had been done on this AI-driven transformation. Here, I introduced this Rod Plus, which Casey have talked to you before. Rod Plus is transforming the conventional rod maintenance process to seamless cycle by utilizing not only IoT but also AI in this application. So this is an example of our web platform. We come with web, mobile, and also some device for the inspection. Here I'm going to share you how our web dashboard look like to help the management of the rod maintenance to oversee what is happening on the rod conditions. We have profiled the rod. We have list out the number, real-time number of detected pothole by the system. We lay out the rods that has been covered. We modify all sorts of we collect all sorts of readings from the rod maintenance device, and then when the rod maintenance device detecting pothole on the rods, they will pass to our network, pass to our cloud storage and system, and then they can view it from this cloud. And to take action swiftly right after that, like they can just straight away approve certain damage, they can reject certain damage that is not critical, and then straight away pass to the contractors, and then the contractors will take actions. So in this case is what we do is we try to spot the gap. What we have to do in this traditional rod maintenance to a digital transformation is to find what actually this JKR, the authority, and the rod maintenance unit are having problem with, which is your problem statements. So their conventional process would be a rod maintenance unit will be assigned to do the inspection of the rod, where they have a group of rod inspector that will go out every day to manually see where is the hole, and then they will record down the location, they record down all these characteristic of the damages, and then they will communicate with their headquarters rod maintenance unit, and they will form a reports, meetings, decide which one should fix, which one should not fix, and then they will assign tasks to repair contractors, and then repair contractors is again take some time to fix, and then do all the paperwork and report the fix to the rod maintenance unit, and then the rod maintenance unit can do a progress report to JKR. You can see this is a very lengthy process to fix a hole. I mean, not just to fix a hole, fix the whole rod network of our network for our study case. So this is the fussy part. So the gap would be, first we can see is the communication taking too much time. Second thing is the rod inspector, they have to run the rod manually check by the eyes every day, and then all sorts of human error also could contribute in this. So what we can come in is two things. We help them to do digital transform and also AI-driven digital transform on the inspection side. So we answer this question: what is the report frequency, weekly, monthly? What is the medium of communication? What is the report content? What is their insight? Which is not, they doesn't really have any insight driven for any data they have. It's just write down, repair, and then end of the day. There's no values to the data they have collected. So what we want to do now here is we want to address this problem: lack of real-time monitoring, lack of insights, insufficient information transfer. So what is the authority lack of this? And then next we will go to see what the actual rod inspector are lack of, why the process is so slow, or why they take them so much time to report to the authorities, what is the problem. And this is the process of them doing reporting. So we see what can we help from this angle first. They patrol, they will stop and they take pictures, they record. After they finish patrol, they will go to the office will meeting, compile report, assign to contractor, and then contractor report phase. So this is the whole process. Usually it take them quite a long time. So the gap will be, it's very time consuming. There's a very large rod of network to cover. At Sarawak itself, we have over 7,000 kilometers of networks for them to cover, and lengthy process from spotting the hole to the repair. So what we did is we train a network, AI network, using the potholes with artificial neural networks, and then we produce an AI call that could automatically detect air potholes, and then we put that application, that network inside a mobile application. Then we can use this mobile application to help us to detect pothole on the road as we go. So the user just need to mount it on their car, and then they drive through the road, and then whenever the hole is detected, it will automatically record everything: location, characteristic, images, GPS, everything, time, and then they will upload to the cloud server. And the cloud server will automatically generate the report, and then this report will be used directly notify the relevant contractors. And then when the contractor take action to fix them, they only need to report it back based on the online platform. So you can see by using digital transformation, this is AI driven for the AI pothole detection, it could largely reduce the time and seamlessly make them work in a more swift manner. So this is what we had worked with JKR. This solution automatically detects and digitize all information of pothole. They generate automatically report. They will save time for IMU so that they can cover more grounds. Efficiently reduce the time to report to fix. And we also have a very transparent platform for JKR to review. so they don't have to wait for the progress report after a long time after fix. Usually they do weekly or monthly. So with this, they can have real-time monitoring and better control on what's happening. So here we have something that more than fixing gap. So this data that we have collected can help us gain a lot of insights, such as most damage route, weather effect, and budget efficiency. So this is more than what we have fixed. This data can do much more with AI technologies. So this can be used to build more predictive models, smarter model, more intelligent model that can help them to reduce even more problem or even provide more values to what we can deliver. So what we can see here, transformation is long-term. It's not a short-term one-off solution that you could buy off the shelf. If you want transformation, it's long-term. That's all for the Rock Plus. Here are some other products that we have done previously. One of them, of course, classical AI application. Here we have Face ID, also called Face Lock. We use embedded device attached with cameras. We do access control for people using faces as an ID to enter premises. So the system is quite straightforward. We have information that log to the cloud platform and then save all the logs down. And then the embedded device on the site will get all the authorized information, user information to authorize the user to enter certain premises via faces. And these are some of the platform, some of the screenshots that you can see from the platform, the assessing faces. These are some test samples, and these are some user in the system. These are some assessing logs. We also did IoT AI-based human detection application, where instead of detecting faces, this application they detect human instead of only the faces. Detect humans means they are used for security purposes to monitor the outside of the premises or around the very personal spaces like back of the house or those things. They want an alarm system that could give them notification whenever someone's present in that spot, which usually they don't expect there will be people there. So our system will take all these detected feeds, and we have AI servers to detect whether there's a person inside this scene, and then we will notify the user if there is. If there's no, of course, we have all the records in the system. These are some screenshots of the system that the user can view what is the camera sees. These are some on-site deployment cameras samples that humans detected. I will censor the sensitive information. These are the other products that we NEUON have worked on, like we mentioned earlier with this NEUON box, where we use facial recognition algorithm and face detection algorithm to provide interaction with customers in shopping malls. We have Gotani to work with agriculture. We have WerkHR to help with the human resource. We also have this disease recognition software to help with farmers to detect certain disease using mobile application. We also have a manufacturing AI employed system. From the sample here is one of the system called auto count system. We count back automatically that pass through the conveyor belts. So that's all for the product. Before we have some closing thoughts, these are some concerns that usually the public will raise regarding to AI, regarding to artificial intelligence. So of course, data privacy is an issue. Data protection is also an issue. When you hand everything to digital, then there's possibility of hacking, there's possibility of people leaking your information. And here we wouldn't say this thing would not happen. It will happen, but our company, we are also very focused on how we should protect our customer data. So a lot of very important data, we were very careful in handling them. We will have standard protocol as well as our own protocol, and we will keep our own backup data servers. In terms of data privacy, of course, that's go without saying. You shouldn't share any of your customer data to other people, especially those sensitive IDs, sensitive faces that people keep here as access control. And as for people concerned about marketing issue like targeted marketing, and all those YouTube ads that suits to make people feel being watched. But yes, then the issue. So here we really think this kind of application, we should focus on interaction, but not intrusion. Means you want to use AI to help you personalize a certain consumer experience. We should do it by positive interaction, but not going very intrude, like pop-up order kind of information inside his phone, like forcing them to read or something. Just recommend that is enough. So some closing thought is conclusion. Digital transformation is sort of inevitable in the modern age, and this transformation is often accompanied with AI technologies, so that we not only collecting the data, but also leveraging data to help us to build a more complete system, or more smart system, more intelligent system. And as I mentioned, digital transformation is a long-term organizational shift. You cannot do it short-term. It has to be a long-term shifting from digitalizations to understand your problem insights, and then give your consumer the best experience out of these insights, and then re-improve the cycle based on the data that you have collected. And eventually, we not only impact internally to your own organization, but also you are affecting the users around you to having the transformation together. This also, we cannot forget that what our research finding always come from academic, so universities, colleges, all those will come out with a lot of brilliant idea like you guys to bring us to a better technology, better AI technologies. So what we believe is implementation is what make your findings truly impactful. So remember to make whatever you do right now, try to make them practical to be implement that could consequently changing all our lives. I would think that would be very useful. So that's it for my presentation. Do you have any question?
All right. Thank you, Mr. Chang. So, there's one question already. So the question is it possible for AI to eventually develop into a Terminator scenario?
I think Alex Lee will have some age already. I still know what Terminator is. I think this question people ask me a lot. I would say everything is possible, but it will not happen in our era, of course. And this AI that we are talking about maybe is a little bit different from what we have seen in movie. What AI developed is very restricted. Basically, AI that we develop have a very core thing that doesn't exist, which in Terminator they have, which is what we call consciousness. There's no evidence or any real cases that there's consciousness found in machine or artificial intelligence that we have developed so far, of course, so far. But I don't really think there's a way for us to inject consciousness inside machine with current technology. If you see some AI chatting very lively to you, seems like a real person, that are just what we say the data they have collected enough to do this kind of interactions. These response are not real. they are not simply programmed, but AI learn, but the limit is limit by your data. Even if they can draw, some of the AI they can draw, they can even design new stuff, but they are all based on the current possible combination that you have provide, even though they come with the new formulas that no one has been seen. But in the system, if you really go and find and trace back, you'll find the pattern they use to build this formula. It's just that human doesn't have the capability to look through that sea of data to find that combination, but machine can do it in the milliseconds or million seconds to help you to do reduce a lot of work. So I would say, yeah, is that answer your question? Can we have a rough idea on how many images needed to train an accurate model and prevent it from overtraining? Oh, this is a very technical question. I think Heng Tae is working on a machine learning model probably. I would say very dependent, but the images number actually is just a rough estimation on how well your system is. If you get more image, of course, the system will be better. Few thousand is just a small number, what we say. But the more important than number is the variation of your data. Let's say if you're training a cat predictor, you want to see whether this image present to you is a cat or not. If you give them 10,000 cat image of the same cat, Garfield, then it's not useful, because at the end of the day, if it's not that cat, it's not a cat. So here, what important is you have to increase the variation of your cat. You have to think like machine, think like human. They have to see a few kinds of cat to know what you should focus up on the cat. Is it cat have ears? Is it cat have whatever feature that they should ignore? So the variation is one thing. Amount is one thing. Amount, I would say, the more the merrier. But if you don't have variation, the amount doesn't matter. You still have any question regarding to that? Okay.
All right. So, any more questions? Final call, because we are very over time already.
Yeah. Sorry for the
Yeah.
long presentation.
So, if there's no more questions, so thank you, Mr. Chang and Dr. Chai, for spending the afternoon, well, afternoon and evening actually, to present this talk. I understand that both of you guys have like very busy schedules, so me and I'm pretty sure the rest of the IEM student section Sarawak committee members are very grateful that both of you managed to spare some time with us. So before we end, I will actually be presenting to you e-certificates for both Mr. Chang and Dr. Chai. So give me a moment. So can everyone see my screen, right?
Yeah.
All right. So here is the e-certificate. Here is the one for Dr. Chai. All right. And here's another one for Mr. Chang. Later after this, I will send both of these e-certificates to both of you.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So before we officially call it, why don't we take a group photo? So with that, if possible, can everyone open your webcam? Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay. So anyone? Okay. So I guess I will take it first. So anyone else? No one? Okay. So get ready. 3.
Oh, someone coming.
Oh, okay. All right. So okay. Everyone good? So 3, 2, and 1. Hold on. Okay, so another one. 3, 2, and 1. All right. So that should be it for this talk. So once again, of course, thank you both, Dr. Chai and Mr. Chang, and of course, thank you everyone for attending this talk. So you guys can leave the session now.
All right, thank you so much.
All right, thank you. Bye.